start it now. So I am still installing. I think it's done. So it's now after install, just find it. Megabar print. Okay. So just open it up first for the print, and I'm going to use private network. Don't need to do domain. Allow access. And here it is. So I already have my account. And just plug in your information. If you don't have account for Megabot yet, no big deal. Just sign up. It's free. Hopefully I don't forget my password. Yes. I use it once. Yes. Okay. So now, after you install, how about I wait a little bit? I'll come back on this. Okay. Oh wait, otherwise it won't be continuous. So okay. So first you need to add printer. And when you click add, you will choose add unconnected printer because we don't have it connected here. And the model that we will use is Replicator Z18. That's all we have in the building. Okay, and it will look like this. It's about 18 inches tall, and it's about 12 by 12 width and depth. Okay, so pretty large, medium format. And then you can just collapse this. And that will be the setting for starting using the printer. Now, if I'm gonna minimize this soon. If someone come in here and shut down your computer, restart it, you may lose this. You're probably gonna have to reinstall it again. And just go to the our class folder and copy it. Or you can copy the download file into your thumb drive so that when you need it, you have it with you. Okay, we're gonna come back on this. We have to go back to Zbrush. So on Zbrush, I'm gonna change my UI element a little bit. Load. And right there. Okay, so that I have this in here. And my document, I'm gonna change to new doc. I don't like that. Range, okay. And I'm gonna store this as a startup. Okay, so now I'm gonna load my file. So, okay, first, let me copy my file and put on the D drive because it's safer than working directly from my hard drive. So week 7, let me copy the whole project directory. Week 7. Okay. So now I'm gonna load the tool. Week 7 Z2. Okay. So right now this is my tool. Oops, sorry. Enable it. I'm gonna change the color to basic material F. And if you look at on my subtools, it has a bunch of stuff in there. Okay. And I actually prepared to do a Boolean already. So I'm gonna just remove some of it. Let me prepare a little bit. Let me delete. So I want you to delete any subtool that are not related to the model. So clean it. So I'm gonna just keep deleting the things that I don't need. That one, delete. That one also. check it. Delete. Okay. Now, these are all the subtools that I have. I need to flat them. So basically, I have to continue to merge them down. And for this project, we don't need to read topology. We're going to just use a Redynamic to export it. It's going to be a little large file, but the detail you will get exactly like here. Oh, wait. The detail is just what we see, but when you print it out, it may not come out. The detail, if we print it small size. So I'm going to merge down. So merge down, click OK, and keep going. Just merge all of them down into a single subtool. There we go. Okay. This time I am not separate the base. Okay. So now after you merge them down, all the separate subtool will have a really sharp line, which that's what I wanted. If you don't, you need to go ahead and settle it. Okay. So now I'm gonna save this as, I'm gonna call print demo. You don't have to name like what I'm doing. Hold on, here we go. Into different names so that you don't destroy the original. Always do that. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to hollow this out. You don't have to hollow everything. Like for example, when I look at on the hair, I may not hollow it because it's so little shape. And on the base or on the body, I may not be hollow them. I don't know yet. Okay. So now I want you to duplicate this. Just duplicate it. And duplicate one of them. There we go. And this one of them, we're going to reduce the size. We're going to reduce the size. Let's hide the original. Just turn off the eyes and select only the, you might want to rename them so that you won't get confused. So I can call a copy, something simple, because it will be renamed later again. So on the copy one, we're going to reduce the size of the geometry like really low. So go to Redynamic under geometry, Redynamic. Right now it's off because I turned it off because I'm done with it. We can do remeasure. However, we don't. You just Redynamic in a low division. We don't need any detail. Now, I'm losing something. Can you see? I'm losing on the back, so I gotta undo. It doesn't know what to do. Okay, so let me bring these a little higher for temporary. So it may happen to you, so you need to do higher resolution temporarily because we're gonna bring it down so that we can Redynamic all the objects still there. Here we go. Oh, not yet. Take a little bit. Yes. Okay. And if it's still going away, no big deal. I will duplicate this one again one more time. I mean, you might not have the same problem as mine. And I'm going to turn off everything. And then I'm going to cut this away. So if I can't fix this, I think because I have a hollow inside plus another one sticking on it, I will eliminate this. So I'm going to just hide. Here we go. Okay. And then I'm going to delete under mesh, geometry, modify, and delete hidden. Here we go. And then I'm going to Redynamic this one. let's see. Let me turn on a, here we go. Okay. Because there are two objects on it. Okay. Oh, here we go. So you have two objects, and sometimes Zbrush just can't calculate it. It's good that has this problem because you might have it. So now I'm gonna redynamic mesh only on this guy, and I'm gonna just leave low division. Well, I still got that problem. No problem. I'm gonna do separate this. I gotta fix this. I can't deal with that with Automate. So I'm gonna select these geometry. Once again, guys, you may not have that problem. I do. So I'm gonna separate under geometry. Oh, sorry, under Subtool split and split two parts. Here we go. So that I can eliminate this guy. Okay, I'm gonna leave just only that. And I'm gonna redynamic mesh. So I'm gonna delete this one, that one. Here we go. Oops, turn off. Gonna delete it. And now I got this and that. So let me redynamic mesh only this guy, the base. I select the base. No. There we go. Let me turn this off so that you can see what I'm doing. And dynamic mesh, redynamic mesh. Here we go. So now I'm gonna combine them. So both of them are dynamic mesh. I can combine them. So merge down and then redynamic mesh. Merge down. Here we go. Okay. So now after I merge down, I might need to just drag to redynamic mesh. Here we go. So now I got the shape. Now I have to reduce. So under dynamic mesh, I already reduced a lot. Let me see. Let's check with wireframe. Let's do even more. How about I'm gonna try 56, like super low. It may not update. You might have to touch up a little bit and then redynamic mesh. Here we go. Really low. There's a reason why I want it to be so low, because I want to extrude it inward. Okay. So now before we extrude inward, might be a good idea to hollow it out, to cut a hole a little bit. Now, to cut a hole, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna do like this. Select visible. Okay, and we're gonna punch. We're gonna separate the hole. So, see, I cut only one, and this is a little technique. And then I'm gonna, subtract, Control Shift, and then Alt. I just want that color to be separate, that part to be separated. And then I'm gonna go to Polygroup, Group Visible. Now you can do Control Shift click and bring everything. So now Control Shift click and click again to reverse. Now we got a hole. So let's do it again. So after you hide all the part and you have just only one spot, it doesn't matter what size. And then you go to a polygroup and choose group visible so that this has different group. And then you Control Shift to click anywhere to bring everything back. Basically, you wanted to hide this and delete them. That's all you needed. So I'm going to click. Now, when I click on the group, it hides everything else. I have to do Control Shift click again to reverse the selection, display. So it looks like this. Now, the back face are disabled on display. If you look at under display property, you can turn on double so that you can see it, the inside. So right now you have a hole. Now, guys, the hole doesn't matter what size. we're going to close them at the end. So now we're going to extrude inward. To extrude inward, you have to use another brush. Click on brush, and then press Z, because Z modeler, so the alphabet Z is the fourth one right here, Z modeler. Now zoom in so that you can see the square. Has to be really low. This guy is going to be the inside. Now move your cursor over the center of the face. You may have to use a smaller brush. So make the brush really small. Now if I zoom in a lot, can you see right there? Now angle it so that you can see how you're going to extrude it. So I want you to click and hold and then push it inside. Now, right now, it's not the entire. We're going to fix that. So I'm going to undo quick. Move your cursor over the face again and tap and hold space bar. And we're going to work on Z modeler soon for the third project, for this project. I want you to choose all polygons because we wanted to extrude them entire surface. So once again, you move your cursor over center of the face, any face, and then hold space bar. You will get this pops up menu. And you're going to choose all polygons right here. Turn it on and let go. Now try it again. Click and drag. Now it may be slowed down. See, mine's not updated yet. So just keep holding it. Here we go. It's just because of it's such a high res. And I wanted to get in a little thick. Here we go. A little bit. I just keep holding it. And that's it. So just something that you can see that it has a little thickness. If it's too thin, the wall, we can scale it down later. So I'm going to dolly out. It's going to look really weird. Can you see? I think the wall is too thin. And how can I tell? Because this is from the outer and then coming to the inside. And think about this. If you print only this size, let's say 10 inches, that probably like this thin. Now that thin might be okay because we're going to use 2 and 2 shelf. So it will become 4 shelf on each one of them. But I think we better to make it a little thicker. So I'm going to undo quick. And then do again, one more time. And this time I'm going to make it a little thicker. So quick. Ouch. Hold on. You really need to select on the face. And then just click and hold until you see the surface. It's going to take a little bit of time because it's such a high res. Here we go. I'm going to keep moving it inward a little bit more. Come on. It doesn't update. Here we go. I'm going to do a little more. A little bit more. So if you do this on your computer system at home, it may be slower than what I am doing. So just take your time. Don't get panicked when you don't see anything move. Just wait until it's get in. So now I think this is good enough for me. And it's going to look quite messy, so no big deal. Like this part, I can tell that maybe we even don't need the wall at all. We will see it. So now after you're done, you switch to regular brush, any brush. We get rid of the surface we don't want it. Okay. Are you good? Are you okay?
I got left. We're recording this, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I'll do it later.
You just get lost?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, did you have a hole?
No, I don't.
No, okay. So basically the whole, you just use Control Shift and Alt to hide all the other part and leave just some spot, anywhere. I choose the bottom because it's kind of nicer. Now, when you're ready, save first, because it may crash, we don't know. I save into A1, oh no, 1A. So now we're gonna remove surface that we don't want. We want the surface that kind of invert back inside. Now, to remove is really easy because by default, it should add slightly different poly group. So I'm gonna remove this one first. Make sure you make the brush size a little smaller. Here we go. And so now, let's see. This looks like they are the same. It could be there. Let's try. Control Shift click. Nope, that's not the one. So let's delete hidden first because I hide some already. I think this one need to go to. So under geometry, delete hidden. Under modify topology, delete hidden. Here we go. So we do little by little. I think Alt click, Control Shift. I think I go too deep. Yes. So, okay. One moment. I think yes. So now these are penetrated. Hey guys, so I have to undo. It can't be too thick like this. Because I do not know exactly how much do I need to extrude. So I have to try an experiment. So now I'm gonna do extrude one more time because it doesn't work on my C modeler, spacebar, all polygons. This time I'm gonna do the wall a little thinner, not too thick. Because when it's too thick, everything's become penetrating. Like the smaller area of the surface, and I am unable to separate them. So, okay, I gotta do just really small, really thin like this. It's about half of it. Okay, these seem more manageable. So now, I'm gonna change to a move brush or any brush. Control Shift click. I'm gonna click on the darker green. Here we go. And then I'm gonna delete hidden. Under modify topology, under geometry tab, delete hidden. Okay. Now look for more. I think that's it. The rest of them is just the surface that intersect. So I think this is good enough. Now, what I need to do is I'm gonna have to turn on Dynamesh. Make sure Dynamesh is on in low division. Now, you're gonna have to start it to soften it. Soft the area. Oops. You should turn X symmetry. Soft them so that they become a single surface, no penetration. Like this area, we don't even need them right there. Just Redynamic and we soft until it's gone. Okay. You can do trim it too, clipping or trimming. So Redynamic, and you may have to do a little brush, like here we go. Soften it, Redynamic until they're all gone. You don't need the detail of the face. Keep going. Because we don't need any detail at all. This is going to be the inside. And The reason that we extrude inward because these are actually the back face. It's not the front face, it's the back face. Now, this section is going to take a little bit of time. How about let's use this, Control Shift click and then change to clipping, clip curve. So we just clip it out. There we go. And you don't have to do it nicely, just clip it. Here we go. And then soften it, Redynamic until they become a single surface. No penetration like that. These spike things might take a little bit of time, but, oh, there's a hole in it, so let's pinch them. If it's a hole, you need to pinch it. And then Redynamic so it's closed. Oh. I did it and I forgot to turn on Dynamash. It was off. So now it's faster now. I was wondering why. This section, okay, soften it. Now, at this moment though, we soft enough, we should start to test to put this inside. Okay. So that we don't have to do, what do you call, like a walk in the dark side, walking in the dark room. So you're gonna enable the actual, the original. The original is on the top, and the inverse one will be on the side. Okay, so now you're gonna turn on Boolean. So if you don't see Boolean it here, Live Boolean right here, you should be able to see it. Can you see it? Turn it on. Right now it does nothing yet because of this thing. We wanted to, can you see we have a union and this is subtract. Okay. We wanted to turn on subtract, not intersect, just subtract. We're going to subtract the inside to the outside. Basically anything below will be subtract to the top part. Now, we can't really see it yet. We need extra things to help us. So turn off Polyframe. When you turn off Polyframe, can you see? I can see the hole there because it was overlap. If I turn it on, can you see it was overlap? So to fix this, it's really easy. Go ahead, Ben.
My hole like sealed up whenever I was.
Can you turn this off?
It has this like.
Let me. Oh, I think. Is it sealed off?
Yeah.
Yes. No. That's what we wanted.
Okay.
The reason that we opened it up from the beginning because we want to see how thick it can go. Otherwise, you can't really tell. So, and then when you read that mask, it will seal everything.
Okay.
Because this guy will be the inside.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't
Okay.
have a.
So now, guys, this is gonna be too hard to figure it out, like how thin the wall is. Because if it's too thin, this is what happened. I had a hole. It will print though, but you will get that hole when it print out. So to fix it, we need a little help. Insert a cube. Just go to Subtool, insert, and put a cube. Just one cube. And we're gonna use this cube to help to see. So I like you to scale it out so that it's cut through everything because we want to see it. Here we go. And you don't have to do it thick. So we're gonna move these around. Now, before we do that, turn on subtract, this guy, because live Boolean is on, turn it on. When you turn it on, you will see it. So basically, we use this cube to check it need to be adjusted or not. So I'm gonna slightly move this cube until I see the area that right there. Can you see? right here. I got a hole. So to fix it is super easy. You just select, work on the subtool that are inside. Now, it may be a little hard to see. You will have to turn on here we go. Turn on a Polyframe, and I'm gonna try to mold this part. So basically, I'm gonna just use basic move tool and move it out so that there's no hole. There we go, right there. Make sure you turn symmetry. I forgot to turn. Oh, I did. Okay. So you might need to be on the back side. There we go. Right there. I'm going to squeeze it in. It's just because of the hair is so smaller area. There we go. Now right there, I can see it now. Just push up. Push it. There we go. Okay. And got to push that up. Come on. There we go. So now, can you see? I can see it. And this is how you figure it out. This area is kind of too thin. Let's push it in. Oops. Ouch. Didn't push it right spot. There we go. Come on. Right there. Here we go. So now see, the wall is thicker. You don't want it to be too thin, because it's too thin. When you sand it, you might squeeze it hard and then it might just punch it in. It might break it. So you want it to be about thick enough. So you can do soft tool too, smooth brush to help. I think right here on the hair, can you see? And look at on the top view so that you can see them a little better. There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna select the cube and turn on move tool, move brush, and then just slide it. You might need to turn off wireframe so that you can see it when you slide it up and down. Right there, I had a problem right there. It needs to be a single surface. Oh wait, no, that's a separation. That's her headband. Right there is too thin, I think. So turn on Polyframe and select the inside. Q to switch to modify molding. And then I'm gonna squish this in. You can use pinch to help to any tool that allow you to smaller the surface. You might need to rotate your scene, your file, your model, so that you can modify in the right spot. Okay. Now, I am not guarantee you that your wall will be saved. So I can't tell until it's print. So make sure it's thick enough, not too thin, so that you won't break it later. Okay, so now this part is too thin to have the wall on her shoulder. I can tell right away. So I'm gonna select that, turn off Polyframe, turn on move, slide it down. That's good. Now the neck is too thin. Right there. right here is too thin. When I sand it, I definitely gonna break that because of I grip. When I grip it. And then okay. Okay guys, I'm gonna save a little some time, so I'm not going to adjust it now because I'm not going to print this, but when you do on your own, you have to. Like take your time, slowly slide it down. So let's pretend that I am good. Pretend that I'm good. Hey guys, the base, this is too thin. Make it thicker when you do on your own. So that has a little weight on the bottom. So it can stand. And so let's pretend I like this. I'm gonna turn off the this guy. Turn off the eyes. So when you turn off the eyes, and hey, why is not going? Oh, here we go. Turn off the eyes and select the top layers, or any layers, not the eyes, because when you select it, even though you turn off the eyes, it will enable it. So just in case, here we go. Save this file again one more time, just in case. And I'm gonna call number 2. So now we're ready to export this. Okay. So to export it, you will need to use a Z plugin and choose 3D Hub. Here we go. Now, right now it's 25 millimeter. Luckily, we print only one piece. It doesn't matter small or large. You can scale it on the printing software. But if you are a little concerned about it, you can turn on inch and then change to, oh, hold on. Sorry, my bad. Go back. Let me go back to, here we go. I want you to update size ratio, one thing, and then you're gonna choose inch. Right now it's only 2 inches. It's okay, we can scale them up later so that it will update to inch. Now, the reason that you may need to use update size ratio if you separate piece into, let's say, more than 2. In that case, you need to update them so that when they assemble, they have the same ratio. So right now we don't. So export to STL will be only 2 inches and 2 inches wide, 5 inches tall. Export, and it's going to be STL. You can export as a STL or OBJ, but I think STL will be easier because, like for example, if you use Maya doesn't have a STL. That's why you need to export as an OBJ. But here we have it. Use STL is much better. And I'm gonna create a new folder called printing file. You're gonna have 3D print, 3D print file, Z file. Sorry, this one is not print yet. STL files. I'm gonna put S so that I know this is STL. Here we go. And how come there's 2 of them? Oh, hold on. I have to escape. Because, do you guys remember I have a little problem with this, with her? Because of the base, still have 2 tools on it. Because after I merge, I can't perform the Redynamic. So let me duplicate again. Hey guys, you don't have to do this one if you have that problem. When you got this, let me do it again. Export STL. Okay. When you got this, it means you have two pieces inside one subtool. Do you remember when we merged down? You need to redynamesh to make them become one, like one piece, not multiple pieces stick to each other. That's why I got this option. Now, to be safe, I got to get off this. I need to fix the base first. So let me duplicate this one again, duplicate. So now one of them, I'm gonna redynamesh. And my Dynamesh needs to be a little higher. So I'm gonna do 800. Redynamesh. Now, I will lose the base. As you remember, when I tried to do it on the duplication for the inside. So, here we go. I lose the case or the base already, but I have another one on. So, oh, I removed, see, that one. So now, I'm gonna go back to these and I'm gonna separate, but before I separate, I better to trim this. There we go. Not trim, clip it out. Because if I separate, it's gonna separate the headband and other part. It's gonna be a lot of things. So now I can separate this guy. So I'm gonna have to do split 2 parts. Here we go. And I'm gonna get rid of the part that I don't want, which is that one. Delete it. There we go. And I have, oh gosh, I have more than, wow. Okay. Hold on, I have more than what I thought. Last one. Okay, so now I have only the base, and I'm gonna combine the base right now. Oh, there's still one more. What is that? Let me, oh, not clip, sorry. Let me hide it. Huh? Where am I? Oh, what is that floating? Oh, there's another one there. Okay, I didn't see that. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna redynamesh this guy. Geometry, dynamesh. Oh, I delete. Oh, I do it too low. Let me escape. I don't want to lose 400. Here we go. Okay. Oh, I already lose the detail. That's okay. You got an idea. So now I'm gonna merge these down together. Merge down. Here we go. And then I'm gonna redynamesh by control drag. So now they become a single piece. I have to check if they really are. Yep, they are a single piece now. Okay, so now I can do that operation again. Like Boolean. Let me save this so that won't crash. Number 2. Okay, so export. Let's update the site first. Here we go. Just in case. Plug in ZTL. Here we go. Why do I still have that? Subtools. There's some part that are not. No, let me try this. Let me turn off that quick. Sorry guys, let me pause this quick. Sorry guys, I know what it was. So turn on the visibility only on the tools that you wanted to subtract. So only two, and then go to Boolean. And under Boolean, make Boolean. What? I need to turn on live Boolean. Here we go. Sorry, I forgot. No wonder why it's still two parts. So click make Boolean mesh. It will use the inside one, subtract the outside. Make it, and after you make it, it will create a new tool. Here we go. So we'll call UMesh. So now this is the one that has a hole inside. On UMesh, you better to save it too. I can just name UMesh. Leave the UMesh so that I know it's UMesh. And then now I can do, it's already inches, I can export it. It should be good now. So I'm gonna just, this is too long name, but that's okay. Here we go. Now I don't have any warning. So now, after you're done, come back here. Yes.
It's giving me like a export option menu. So like selected visible all.
Can you cancel that? Do it again. No, not that, not that. Using a 3D hub. Z plugin. Right here. Can you look at on screen? Hey guys, to export, you need to use Z plugin. And then choose export to STL. You might need to update your size ratio. I mean, if it's single piece, you don't really have to. You can scale up and down because you don't have to care about the other piece because you have only one. And then choose export to STL. Don't use this export. These are built from 3D printing. Yep. Okay, so now when you get to here, you just choose open, create a insert file, and find where it is. There we go. And grab that, insert in, and it will be a little small. We're going to scale it up. Okay, really small. It looks like it doesn't update as an inch. It's still in the millimeter. So left mouse, right mouse, click and drag, you rotate it. To zoom in, you need to use the wheel. And to track, you need to hold the wheel down, middle mouse button, basically. Now, let's scale it up a little bit. Click on the scale, uniform. Now, right now, yes, it's millimeter. Well, you could change the setting preferences, change to inches, easier. Display unit, just do inches, because so that we know. Now, I'm gonna scale it. You can specify. How about height? Let's do height 10. There we go. Here we go. So 10. I think 10 might be too small, guys. You can try, how about 15? Because if it's too small, it's not fun to sand it. So let's do 15 because we have 18, right? Inches tall. So we can do 15. Now rotate it. You just look at on the axis. Mine will be rotate X. Here we go. So I'm gonna click on rotation, rotate X. Let's do positive 90. Here we go. And the red colors indicate that it's outside the boundary or outside the boundary of the printing. It will not print correctly, or it may not print at all. So you go to position, align, arrange to build plate. You could use center model too. So either one of this. Now the red line is gone. Now these are 15 inches, so that's kind of tall. Let's see how long it takes for 15 inches. I don't mind about larger size as long as they are not more than 3 days. Because I'm afraid we will not have enough time for all of us. So I use 15 for now. Now I'm gonna save this file, save project, and the project file is called .print. It's not the print file. You cannot print it, this file. I don't know why they named .print. They should name .megabot. And the one that print should be named .print. So a little confusing on here. So just remember, if you see .print, it's not for printing. It's for your backup as a megabot file. So let's put that. And I'm gonna add another folder. I'm gonna call megabot files, so that I know this is for megabot files. And I'm gonna leave the word project too, so that I know it's not for printing, it's project file. So I don't remember what her name. I think Mahalia. I think that was her name. Project. Okay. Save. Now we're gonna slice it and export the G code. To slice it, you click on this button, the gear icon, and you're gonna choose custom setting. Custom setting. Now we're gonna create a new setting for us. So I'm gonna click a plus sign. Name it. I'm gonna call Extrude Print. How about that? Something. And click. Here we go. So let's go by here. Quick setting. Base layer. Show rough. Rough is create a glue. I think it's safe for us to have a glue on it. So we want rough. Now the layer adjustment, the height 0.2, that's it. We're gonna sand it. So we don't need to go to 0.1 because 0.1 will be almost triple time to print. So not half, like not one time, like twice or almost triple. Now the shell though, I want you to change to 3. Because we're gonna sand it. We want a little thicker shell. Shell is mean like 3 layers. So the thickness of the shell, not the thickness that we design it, it's on the shell. Okay. So 3.
Did you change base layers at all? I missed that real quick.
Oh no,
Okay.
just rough. Turn on rough. Yeah. Now there's a blim too. We don't need to. When I want it to be safe, I would add blim on it. Blim is kind of create another set of layers outside to kind of pin things down. But rough is already thick, so we'll pin it. And on the 3D printer, I used a marking tape, so it helped to glue it. Okay. So now extrude, leave it as is. Roof, you can just leave it as is. Now shell is the same thing. Fixed shell start, and then 90% and 2 millimeter. I thought I changed to 3. Oh no, that's a layer height. It's the same thing. 3 shell, yes. So it's similar to quick. Infill, you always want 10%. You don't. Now it depends. Let me explain on the infill. Infill is, let's say we have the wall, right? Outside and inside. The infill is the surface, the space. So 10%. It will be faster. Now, if you want it to be strong, like really strong, you should go higher. If you choose 10% or 100%, it means it's as many as layer to create that solid. Like, so we don't do that. Now the floor, we don't have to deal with that. Now support though. Right now, what MakerBot check is check the angle 48, within 48 angle, no support. Now, in theory, 45 angle, anything above 45 need to be supported. Oh no, 45, anything below than 45 need to be supported, I think. Yes, okay. So, which is, we can do 68, so a little higher, so that it won't keep doing supporting. So it take longer and more sanding. And I'm gonna leave it 60, oh no, sorry guys, 68 is kind of too high. Let's do 55. 55s take really long, but not long as 45. Make sure you press enter to execute it. Leave this as is. And now, support type, everything else just leave as is. Support type, you want breakaway support. Without this, MakerBot will not check the angle at all. We just don't put any support on it. So you need a little support. Now base layer, external brim by default is 5. In this model, it's not too complex in terms of the height. So you just leave at 5. When I do my own, I want to be safe, I add 10 inch. You don't have to do that. We have rough. This will stay. I mean, this setting is help to pin the model on the plate. That's what it does. Okay. So everything else is good. And now when you see the star or the asterisk, you need to click save print mode, so that you can come back and reuse this. Click done, and then right here, estimate and print preview. Click on this button. I can turn that off. And it will take a bit of time. Yes.
It has the same print mode as it's like grayed out.
One moment, hold on. Let me stop the